Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Silent Podcast Rewatch. I am Isaiah, and I am here with my two co-hosts for the very first time, Sabrina.
Hello.
And Lance.
What's good, everybody?
Let me actually get y'all. I forgot to put y'all names up, but yeah. No, this is the first ever non-sequester podcast that we're actually doing on this channel. Very excited. Yeah, very. I've been planning this for like so long. We just have like a series of like different shows that we're going to be covering, and this is like the first non-live action one we're going to do. So, I'm very excited. So the first show that we're actually going to be doing for our rewatch is Total Drama Island. This is the show that got me into reality TV, actually, like before the Big Brothers, before the Survivors, before all that. So, this is what got me into this world. And I was very interested to do this, but I didn't know who to do it with. And I saw Sabrina first. She texted or she tweeted that she never saw Total Drama. I was like, I need to get Sabrina on. Yeah. And then I also talked to Lance, and Lance was like, I never watched it. I'm like, all right, I need to get Lance on. Yeah. So we only watched the first 2 episodes, but before we get into like all the details, what are your guys' initial thoughts on the show?
Honestly, for me, I'm surprised I never got into it, being that I'm like a big reality TV fan. Like I watch every reality TV show that's under the sun. And for me not to have this cartoon version, reality show, I'm surprised I never got into it. But I've never been like a big cartoon person, so this was definitely going to be a venture of me getting into. And so far so good, I will say, from what I've seen. And when I get hooked to reality shows, it's only downhill from there.
Yeah, I felt the same way. Like, I don't know why I never watched it, because like I saw it obviously all over like Twitter and everywhere. Like people parodied it and like talk about the characters all the time. And I'm like, I don't know why I never sat down and like actually watched it. But like it is like very interesting because obviously it's a clear, humongous parody of Survivor, which is fun. So that's been cool to watch so far. So I'm excited to like continue on.
Okay. And actually, like recently, I mean, we're probably not even going to get into this like such a long time if we ever get to that point. But they actually did a parody of Amazing Race 2 like a couple of years ago too. So they just been
like Ridiculous Race,
Redonkulous Race or something like that. So I haven't even watched it yet, so I'm just like, but we're gonna figure it out. So let's start this whole thing off. So first of all, we see Chris, and he's doing his generic little introduction, like, oh, this is Camp Wawanakwa in Muskoka. We're gonna have all these people, all these teens come in. They're gonna be competing for some money. There's just the basic general stuff that all those other reality TVs do. And we're actually going to start seeing some of the cast, but it's interesting because they all think that they're coming to some private island, some mansions, hot tubs, all that. And we just see like a lot of different like reactions, and obviously I wouldn't be too happy either if I got put into like some stranded island with like no running water or anything like that. But but just to do a quick rundown, I just want to see what you guys feel about all the characters that got introduced. So first we have nerdy girl Beth. What do you guys think about her?
I feel like she could be an underdog. I think she might do better than what it seems when she's first introduced. She's very excited, which is great. So maybe she'll like want to push through and win. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. So it gave me like this creeper teen vibe that like she was so obsessed with the host more so than with playing the game. Yeah. But I feel like with Beth that she's gonna definitely like once she get around our 2 in, she's going to be like, oh, this is a social strategy game. It's time for me to pick up my quirkiness. And now it's time for me to like hone down, make these alliances, and vote these people out. Because I found it like so funny, especially when Chris was doing his introduction. I was like, it definitely gave like a Jeff Probst, like, it's one survivor. And it was like, he's like, it's 22 competitors, 8 weeks on this camp. And, telling us what like they were playing for. They was playing for like a reward of like tabloids and small fortunes. So I was like, okay, let's get into it. But yeah, Beth definitely gave me like that geeky, nerdy, like, she had the braces. It was very stereotypical. And I realized that this show so far is very like stereotypical. And they making these characters based on the stereotypes that get cast for these shows times 10. And that's what we're gonna like as we slowly talk about more and more people like they'll definitely see that it's very stereotypical.
Yes.
And it's actually interesting why you say that, because we're going to, I mean, obviously, like I said, we're going to get to some of these people, but like this was coming out like 2007, so like a lot more things were acceptable back then. And it was actually originally made in Canada, so like when it came to America, a lot of that stuff actually got censored out. Which a lot of stuff that they even showed or what they would say as well got like censored out. So you'd be shocked. Wow. But yeah, like as the show actually goes on, you'll start seeing that, like us, they start cutting some stuff because you can see that stuff isn't acceptable. But I mean, we'll get to that. So the next character, we're not going in any specific order, but the next character for the girls was Izzy. So how do you feel about Izzy?
Oh, she was the girl that fell off into the
crazy girl. Yeah.
She was the clumsy, but I don't know, her hair gave me like this weird Medusa vibe. So I don't know if a villain will come out of Izzy in the future, but she came across very clumsy. But I think that, for me right now, based on what I've seen so far, Izzy is definitely someone to watch.
Okay. How about you, Sab?
Yeah, like whenever she fell like immediately into the water, and yeah, like I said, her hair was like she came out of the water and her hair was big, and then it just like she didn't even brush or nothing, and it was just like back to normal. So just, like, okay.
Cartoons for you.
She seemed very eager. She seemed like not as much as Beth was, but like she definitely like seemed like she's a really nice kind of person, and like maybe will do well in the social part of the game.
Okay. Yeah. So the next one is Lashana. So, Lashana, that's the only black girl here. But Lance, you look like you gotta say something about that.
Yeah, like I'll start. Well, first of all, as we start talking about the cast and we realize that I wouldn't say Lashana is the only black girl there. I think we would have Courtney is black, and I think for me personally, Katie. They don't say it. I think that the twin Katie, but when Lashana was referring to her, we'll later talk about it, she referred to them as the two white girls. But Lashana is like the girl that when we watch Big Brother, when we watch Survivor, like we root for that strong black woman. And she's the bigger girl. So she's very relatable for me personally. She came in like homegirl. Like she really went up to DJ and like, "What's up, my brother?" And it's so stereotypical because when we watch these shows, most of the time, some of us black folk, like they immediately go to their other black folk and be like, "Hey, we can't be around each other. Let's, we gotta, we know we see each other." And I feel like Lashana immediately did that. But then, she got tried, and we'll talk about the person who tried her a little later. But she immediately got tried, and you definitely saw that angry black woman come out of her real quick.
Yeah, I really like her. I like her energy, and you can tell she like elevates it to like a different place whenever she stepped on to the dock. And who was it? Whenever she walked out, which guy was it who's like, "I've never met someone like you before"? And I was like,
Harold.
Yeah, it was Harold. That's what I was talking about. Harold tried her immediately. He was like, "You're so big and loud." And I'm like, "Oh, that is what they say about black folks sometimes." And for them to try that on TV, I see what you're saying, Isaiah. That come from Canada, so they was being very stereotypical since back then. But I mean, we sit there and laugh about it now, but that's honestly how we get labeled a lot of the times when we're out there, when we're out there person. So hearing them put that in the show, I was like, ooh. And he tried it, she tried him, and she had to have people hold her back. So Harold, you tried it.
Yeah.
And if you want to actually put it in comparison to stuff that was on TV that year, if you put it to like Big Brother, it was the Evil Dick season. This was 2007. So I mean, I think you saw what the type of stuff Evil Dick did. So you could see what kind of stuff was acceptable back then. So it's kind of interesting in comparison to like the time we're in now. But all right, so the next girl was Gwen, the goth chick.
Gwen.
Ooh, I like
Sabrina.
Sabrina. Go ahead, Sabrina. Yeah.
I like Gwen. I think she's one of my favorites right now, honestly. She's definitely like middle of the road. Like she understands what's going on, and she's just kind of plays how I would play it, where she kind of steps back and like observes everything first, what's going on, and then maybe she'll strike later. I don't know, but she seems cool. I like her.
Yeah, for me, Gwen, she immediately gave you that angry goth, but I relate to Offbeat so much, and I love watching an Offbeat on the show, and she definitely gave me like Offbeat. And whenever she was like first of all, it probably took a lot for her to even sign up for the show, and then to find out it wasn't what she signed up for. She's like, I don't want to be here. And Chris is like, contracts, baby, contracts. Like, here's your contracts. And she's like, forget these contracts, I'm gone. And he's like, baby, you can rip that contract up all you want. Contract, I got another copy. I got copies. And he's like, well, unless you can leave, baby, but you got to swim. And it just was so funny for, because, some of us that love reality TV know, like, they basically sign their life away. And that's basically what Beth did and all the rest of them did. And for her to try to walk away, and he's like, okay, try. We'll see. Right. Be mad if you want.
So the next girl was Lindsay, the blonde girl. Super, yeah.
Very like bimbo kind of style, like a little. She's very, I don't know. It's interesting how she like attaches herself later on in the episodes to like other people.
Yeah, like when I first met Lindsay, I didn't get kind of a follower vibe, but like as we watched and as with what we've seen, we saw she kind of became a follower. I thought she was going to be the queen bee. Like she came out there, supposed to be 16 years old, busty. The host even is infatuated with her, which is weird. Yes. The host is an adult, and that's kids, and the host is infatuated with her. And she came across very like bimbo-y, but beautiful. And I see it, to me, I immediately thought like she's going to be the one that has the guys wrapped around her finger. Yeah. So I thought she would be a queen bee. But as we'll talk about a little bit later, she's not the queen bee.
All right. So the next one, and if no one's actually noticed, we've been going down the line. So this is the Screaming Gopher girls, by the way. But the last girl on the Screaming Gophers is Heather. Black haired, pulls up with the shades and everything. Very Mean Girl-esque. But what's your thoughts on her?
Yeah, she's like the Regina George, and Lindsay is like her Karen. Like that's like legit what that is. Dynamic, like for sure.
Definitely. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
There you go. Go ahead.
Well, with Heather, that's why I said like she immediately gave like villain vibes. Like as she walked up, she didn't say a single word. So I was like, okay, she's about to be the BITCH, and she was ready. Like at the end of the day, she didn't. This is not what she signed up for either. She probably get hand fed everything she wants in life, and they wasn't. I just see her not having it, and she immediately gave people stink vibes. And as more contestants came in, she wasn't here for it. So I honestly, I love a good villain. And Heather so far is definitely giving me the villain that I want.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She's gonna be very entertaining, I can tell.
All right. So moving on to the girls on the Killer Bass. The first one is the other blonde girl. Her name is Bridget. She pulls up with a surfboard, very tomboy-esque. What are your initial thoughts on her?
Interesting that she brought a surfboard. I was just like, okay. But beyond that, like she wasn't like super memorable. All right. I mean, I guess right now, I don't know what happens to her later, but for now, I'm just kind of like, okay, yeah, cool.
There's no wrong answer. This is your initial thoughts. I mean,
really much to say.
Exactly. Like, that's what I was saying. Like, when we was on our pre-talks, I'm sitting there saying, like, ooh, some of the blonde white girls kind of meshing together for me. Like, of course, Lindsay stands out for her big boobs, but Bridget doesn't really stand out for me as of now. But I see Bridget possibly, depending on who she aligned with throughout this game, I feel maybe she could maybe, if she's anti-Mean Girls, or if she, goes more with the guys, since she's more of athletic, because, we got a couple of athletic guys in the cast, and it just depends on like who flocks to each other. I don't see Bridget really getting into no showmances, but she's definitely a pretty girl that could possibly, do some things. Like I say, I'm going into this so blind. All I know is what I've seen so far. And, I'm not sure what she's going to give this season.
Wasn't she like, I am one of the guys though?
Oh my gosh, she locked eyes.
Who is it?
I have to know.
Jeff.
The one with the pink shirt and the hat. And
Okay.
That's
okay.
not Justin, right? Not the heartthrob. Wait, where? I'm looking at my notes. Hold up. Yes, they locked eyes, and they had like this moment, and I was like, oh, well, maybe Bridget. That's why I say it all mixes together sometimes. So yeah, Bridget might actually be in the show, man. So let me eat my words real quick.
Listen. I love the blind opinions and everything. You guys have no idea. I love this. So I mean, say whatever you need to say. You guys are good. You guys are fine.
Like, look at this.
but you said it was Jeff, right? Ain't he the surfer dude, like surfer dude S? So that's probably why.
Yeah, he's more of the party guy.
Yeah.
Okay. What's going on?
Mm-hmm. So the next Kill It Bass girl is Courtney. She's the proper girl. I'm guessing that's a crown. You think she's a queen?
That's my queen, Courtney, Miss Prim and Proper. I love that she comes in with this like, this regalness of like, I've been there, done that. She's so proper for me. And, that's my other Black queen of the cast. And I feel like she's definitely going to bring it. At the end of the day, when Courtney walked up on there, I was like, oh, she's a sweet girl. She's proper. She's going to be that person who talks the talk and walks the walk. Maybe she'll link up with DJ and Lashana. We'll see how the teams fall. But I think it might be a hit or miss for my girl.
Yeah, I really like her as well. And as we go further on into these two episodes, she gets better and better for me. Like as these first two episodes came along, and at the very end, I was like, yes,
that's great.
Like the arc for already these two episodes for her was great. So I really like her.
Okay. So the next girl is Eva. Tough girl, brought a bag of dumbbells. She very blunt. Initial thoughts on her.
She reminds me of that similar character in Dodgeball.
Helga. That's what I literally wrote in my notes. Helga. She gives that Helga-esque vibe. Like they had to have that stereotypical strong woman. Like, I literally wrote Helga. Think about in Dodgeball, what's that other movie? It was another movie where it's like this strong freak. It's on the tip of my tongue.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like that strong woman. Like it's so funny.
I feel like it'll come to us. Halfway through this episode.
The one I'm thinking about is blonde. She blonde. She had those pigtails. Oh, what is her name?
It was braided, right?
Yes. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Oh,
it might come to me. I was supposed to research it before, but it's okay.
I'm gonna try to find it while we're doing this. But while I'm doing that, I guess we can do these two together because they're basically a joint. But Katie, dark girl, and then Sadie, the lighter girl. So I mean, they're like two peas in a pod. They're the best friends that wear everything the same. They wear the same hairstyle.
They're twins.
Basically, yeah.
No, they are twins. They're twins, Isaiah, right? I thought they was twins. Sadie and Katie, one big, one small, but they're twins. Unless, maybe it's something we don't know about that they became friends and just dressed like. But I thought they were sisters because they literally can't live without each other. And I feel like I'm the type of person, somebody like that is in the game. I want them out. I need to see how you are alone because no matter how many numbers I might have, you are two votes together. That's unbreakable. I need to see which one I could work with more. So, I wonder if some of those players will see that. That's kind of my thing. But they definitely are characters. Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed.
Very interesting to see the production cast, two people who know each other together too.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that now. Yeah, it's interesting.
We're talking like this is like a real show. Why am I talking logic?
I'm taking it like it's a real show.
Okay, you know what? Fair. Okay, so that's all the girls. So we can quickly also get through the guys. So the first one on the Gophers, that is Cody. He's like I'm not gonna call him nerdy, but he's trying too hard to be cool. He's like, ladies,
like the notes I have for him is Gap wannabe ladies man because he looks like this quirky nerd, but then he came up and was like, "Oh, what's up, ladies?" And the girls looking at him like, "Boy, please, you don't even get me hot. Like, we're at summer camp for 8 weeks. You're not about to be nobody that I'm trying to get with." So yeah, he definitely was a trial for me, and he don't stand out for me. He's not someone that I'm excited to watch in this season. So many more characters.
I legit forgot about him. I don't know.
All right, Cody does not make the favorite so far. So next is Heartthrob Justin. He pulls up all the girls in Owen. All of them are into Justin.
Shout out to Owen though.
That was great. That was so funny.
Honestly, Justin is gonna make it far just off of his looks alone. Yeah. The girls are gonna swoon over him, even though it's like a lot of girls who like other people. I feel like no one is gonna ever want to do Justin wrong. I think Justin is gonna be the person who's gonna have to strike and hurt hearts and hurt feelings because, like Chris said, they cast him solely off of his looks. Yep. You know, he looks a little bit Hawaiian. That's the vibe I'm getting, and I think they had to throw in some eye candy in the cast. It's gonna be like, you ever watch them shows like maybe Too Hot to Handle, where it's like such an eye candy person in the show that don't get no play. I think that's gonna be Justin.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So next is what's a good way to explain him? Noah. I mean, he's more so like. He's just very blunt too. Like I feel like he doesn't care about what people feels. I think he thinks he's just like, you know, he knows everything. The know-it-all. There you go. Noah's like a know-it-all. But Sabrina, how do you feel about Noah?
Another guy I forgot.
Okay.
Not even gonna lie. I pay way more attention to the girls than I do the guys.
The girls are holding this cast together.
I feel like they're more personalities with the girls than there are with the guys. I don't know.
Yeah, and it's hard for them to make guy characters. But for me, I got a little bit more out of Noah. I feel Noah is going to be that. He definitely gave me like kind of that like prissy boy vibe. Like he talked about his allergies. He was like super sassy to Chris. He was like super sassy. So I immediately picked him as the one that's like, "Ooh, I don't want to get my hands dirty, my nails dirty" kind of player. So I think he might actually flock to the girls, and that might be a good way for him to get in. You know, I'm not sure about characters. I mean, back in 2007, them using LGBT characters, but if I had to pick someone that's LGBT in the cast, it would be a close Owen or Noah.
Okay.
Speaking of Owen.
Owen, yeah, Owen's the next one. You know, big guy, big heart. Very excited to be there. What's your opinions on Noah?
Love him. I love when he like ran up and he was just like, "Woo!" It's like the first thing he did. So good. And then when he got excited about Justin coming in, that was awesome. I don't know. Yeah, I agree. Big heart for sure. And so I'm excited to see him hopefully succeed.
Yeah, like Owen is definitely that underdog you cheer for. Like I know when I was watching Big Brother Australia, you know, this past season, you know, the guy that he was such a super fan and he gave me Owen vibes. Like, so Owen definitely is someone that I'm going to be rooting for in this game. I just hope you don't get caught up in having fun getting there. Cause I'm a game player. I love to get nitty gritty with the strategy. So I hope he's here for the strategy. It's so easy to fall in love with Owen. Like he's the one guy in the cast that's so easy to flock to. And he's definitely my favorite guy in this cast.
Okay.
Agreed.
So next is, I'm not gonna call him Goth. He's more of like the down to earth guy. That's Trent. Pulls up. He has his guitar. Him and Gwen have this little. I think you said Bridget and Jeff had like a little interaction. We saw that also with Gwen and Trent. Yeah. But what's your opinions on Trent?
Yeah, I agree. Very chill guy. Like I don't know how far he would get. I think maybe his connection with Gwen might help him along. Yeah. And so that could be something to watch out for. But yeah, he seems chill. I don't know.
Yeah, like for me, I got Trent as, you know, long hair, long face, black hair, eyes for Gwen. Like he literally turned Gwen's frown upside down. Like Gwen was not feeling it. Trent walked up there and gave her a couple eyes, and I'm like, okay, we got our Goth chick with a showman's, but that might go crazy because if he starts talking to someone else, Gwen is gonna flip, I feel. And those Goth chicks, like, I'm not sure what it's gonna give. So I hope that they work out for Gwen's sake, because I like Gwen way more than I like him, and I want Gwen to do well in this game.
Agreed.
All right, so that's it for the Gopher guys. Let's do the killer bass real quick. So the first one over here is DJ. He is the only, no, I wouldn't say that, but black guy, big guy, very nice, polite, all that stuff. What do you guys think about DJ?
Yeah, he seems like another one who's like excited to be there, like real nice guy, like wants to play. And he seemed like he was pretty into like the challenge too. Like he wanted to like do well and like succeed. So yeah.
Honestly, for DJ, I feel like as the season progresses, we're going to slowly learn more and more about DJ's true potential. I had originally said DJ was like this, he's about to be the guy who's like going to kill it for them in challenges, as a black guy, athlete, big black guy. But we slowly will find out that DJ has like those marshmallow muscles that, people be like, oh, you buff for nothing. We slowly gonna learn more and more about DJ.
So I love DJ too. Don't worry about it. But so the next one is Duncan. Green Mohawk from Juvie. Typical bad boy character that they needed in this. Thoughts on him?
I feel him being like a big strategist. I feel like he's going to be really behind the scenes on a lot of stuff. I think he's going to really take notice of all the different like relationships going on, and he's going to try and infiltrate and like get in there. Like I feel like he's smarter than he seems. I don't know.
I will say I'm loving this cast assessment of us like really diving deep. Like,
it's
crazy. But yeah, for Duncan, for me, I agree with Sab so much. I feel that Duncan is going to be the master mover and shaker. And he's going to tell one person this, one person that. I think he's going to be the protector of Heather. Heather is not, I don't think Heather's like fully into him, but he has eyes for Heather. But I feel like he will be like her protector. And when she, her being that queen bee, when she realized that, oh, he's looking out for me, she's going to use that to an advantage. I hope she be smart because she's definitely dynamic. And I think Duncan will be the dynamic one. Got another dynamic guy in the cast.
Yeah.
All right. So next on the list is Ezekiel. A farmer boy, not too in tune with reality. What do you guys feel about Ezekiel?
Is he homeschooled? Was that like explicitly said?
Homeschool, yeah.
Yeah, so like, Chris gave his whole little backstory. It's like this loner homeschool prairie kid. And honestly, this way it deciphers, it moves away from Survivor because, Jeff Probst is not about to give nobody advice as soon as they walk on the island. And Chris gave him like, dude, you need to lay low, make connections, don't be weird so that you don't go home far because you need this experience. And I'm like, ooh, this is definitely a step in a different direction. Yeah. So, I'm definitely excited to see like what Ezekiel could give in this season because I feel like out of everyone there, he probably needs it the most. Being homeschooled at, they're all 16, so he's 16 years old, have been homeschooled his whole life. He need that social interaction.
All right. Jeff, we spoke about him a little bit earlier, but like we say, he's like the party guy. He's almost like Owen. He's like just like he's like like a hype. So opinions on Jeff?
Yeah. So we talked about how he's got eyes for Bridget. So I feel like the guys that are in these little showmances will do better than the others because they are connected with these girls who seem pretty strong, and so maybe we'll see more from him as we go along. But I don't have like many other like pressing thoughts about Jeff.
Yeah, I don't really have many pressing thoughts about him either. I just hate the fact that his name is Jeff with a G. Like where did they get that? Like where do they get Jeff with a G? But hey, you learn new and inventive things. They got Bonquisha out there, so I guess they can have Jeff with a G. But he definitely doesn't really like stick out to me either. Like I pegged him like surfer dude, like cool, fun loving, like ooh, he loving life. But he's definitely doesn't stand out for me.
All right, Jeff is also, so I guess so far consensus Jeff, and Noah are just like the well, at least it's Sab said that. But to Lance, mainly Jeff is just like okay. So Harold, interesting one. I mean, obviously he's the strange nerdy guy. I don't know if anyone else has kind of got this, but he's like a blatant ripoff of Napoleon Dynamite. But how do you guys feel about Harold?
Harold, I don't know. He's got a lot to say. That's
Lance is about to rip him.
Yeah, like Harold. My initial thoughts was weird. Yeah. When my girl Lashana finally got there, this is the guy who literally came at Lashana dirty. He literally came like, I never seen no one like you before in real life. And start ripping on her being loud and big. Like, first of all, you're coming out for being big and loud. She just got a good ass personality. So I immediately wrote him off. You know, maybe he could change the tides as the season goes on. But as of right now, I have written him off because, first of all, you didn't even give her a chance. I don't know where you from, but baby, just because she got a good personality and she's a big girl doesn't mean that she's big and loud. She's just exciting to be around.
Exactly.
All right. And the last one is Tyler. He was the guy who was on the what was it called, like the skis or whatever, the jet skis or whatever, and he just tried to come in. He was athletic, basically crashed and embarrassed himself. But how do you guys feel about Tyler?
Didn't he lock eyes with somebody too?
No, he didn't lock eyes until later in the episode. Remember when he was talking about after the incident? We'll get to it. But his entrance was definitely interesting because Heather was being all bougie wougie, and his entrance caused her to get all like soaking wet. So like that was exciting for me, for her to get like a taste of her own medicine early on. But yeah, at the beginning he didn't really like stand out besides his water sports and his entrance.
Yeah. So it could be good at challenges.
Mm-hmm.
And just for a bonus, how do you guys feel about Chris and Chef?
Chris is
the host. Chris and the chef.
The host, and Chef is literally, his name is just Chef Hatchet. But they just call him Chef.
Chef is my favorite character so far.
Really?
I don't know. He just freaking cracks me up. I don't know. Like in the short time we've seen him so far, I just actually like laughed out loud at his parts. So like I love it so far. So I really hope he has more like appearances in these episodes because
I hope he's a dynamic character too. Like for me, Chef is funny. I'm surprised they didn't like immediately when I thought of like summer camp and lunch. I thought they would have like this lunch lady with a mole on her face. So it was very cool to see a black mean chef that was ready to just slice their throat if they say something about his moving burgers. So that was definitely excited. And then for me, Chris, hey, baby Jeff Probst mixed with a little bit of Julie Chen and Phil. Like, honestly, hey, you're doing good. Keep it up. I'm here. I'm locked in. So keep giving it to us, Chris.
Yes.
All right. So basically after that, we just meet all the characters and all that. And just to give a quick rundown, because there's not much to talk about. I mean, they're explaining the rules. I mean, they're showing, you can do confessional. Yeah, they get put into teams. Katie and Sadie aren't together, but I mean, we already explained the teams, but that's going on. You do your confessionals in a porta potty. I mean, I thought that was a little interesting. How do you guys feel about before we get to the episode, the general like environment that they created for this?
It definitely, like, whenever they mentioned like how old they were, like 16, like I just thought immediately to Endurance, the show, which was like one of my first like shows I ever watched as a kid, and like got into reality TV. And so I was like, oh, this is really like Endurance, honestly, like the weird drama going on and like all these like these super different kids and the crazy challenges and all that. Like it definitely like it reminds me of that. So the environment for sure, like the separate cabins and all that stuff, like totally on point with that.
Yeah, like Sabrina said, I definitely thought of Endurance too, but of course Survivor stayed in my mind when they started like breaking down like how it would be done, and I was like, okay, I'm ready to see the social strategy. Like, yeah, challenges are going to be fun, but I can't wait to see when the first team lose and people start scrambling and things get good, because that's honestly when the juice of the episode started for me.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, I mean, we also get these small little shenanigans, basically like when they get into the cabins, Lindsay seems like a cockroach, and Duncan hits it with the axe and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, basically the first episode is just like a lot of introductions. You just meet the characters. But basically it ends off when we're finding out what the first challenge is, which leads us into episode 2. And episode 2 is basically you were finding out the first challenge is they have to jump off a cliff and land into a circle. And the team that has the most people who land inside the circle, basically not only do they get immunity, but they're going to get a hot tub. So I mean, that's the little incentive there. But the twist is if you do not jump, not only are you costing your team a point, but you have to wear a chicken hat. So I mean, that was a little embarrassing for some people. But how did you guys feel about this challenge?
I love the chicken hat idea. I thought that was great. That made me smile. It just continues like the humongous exaggeration parody of it all. Like to jump from like how tall was that cliff? Like into the
1,000 feet.
Like, ridiculous. Like just the whole thing. I was like, okay. But I don't know. It was interesting how most people did it, like without even questioning it. Like there's only a few that like actually debated jumping, which
don't forget there's sharks there too in the water.
Exactly, and that kind of goes back to like right before the challenge when the cockroach situation happened. Like Lindsay's like screaming like hell, and they checking why she's screaming, and then DJ sees that it's this cockroach, and that's kind of like why I spoke on the marshmallow muscles, because he literally screamed like even more high pitched than Lindsay. And we see him see a different side of him, and that kind of like goes into the challenge where he was one of the first people scared to jump. So it's kind of like, like he's showing us a different side. Like we think, DJ's about to his beast at challenges, and he won't. And also in that moment, and Lashana was trying to have like conversation with Eva, and she was like very passive with her. I'm like, Lashana, they're not feeling you right now, girl. So that started making me worried about like where she was standing in the game. So I was hoping that her team would do good in the challenge. So I'm excited to, talk about the challenge.
Yeah.
How did you guys feel about the people who didn't jump? So I think it was like DJ didn't jump. As you said, Lance, Courtney didn't jump. Beth didn't jump. I don't think there's anyone else. Yeah. How did you guys feel about that?
Yeah, that was it. Definitely not surprised at Courtney not jumping. She kind of gave that vibe of like, it was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like too much. Yeah, she's too mature for that. She's like, you know what? It's fine. She's like, I'll risk it. Like, who cares? Like, she didn't seem like she was all in it for the team. So I was like, okay, like she's not gonna jump. And then Beth, I was a little bit surprised because she seemed to like say excited to be there and like eager to win, and she like even talked about it, and then she didn't jump. And I was like, what? Like
yeah, Beth definitely surprised me because when her team finally started, when the Gophers had started, or the Killer Bass, because she's where's Beth on? Yeah, Beth is on the Gophers. So when they started going, and when Heather was talking about, I'm not gonna jump. And Lindsay was like, well, I'm not going to jump, but she's not going to. Beth was like, why? So that just kind of confused me that when it was finally her chance to jump, she didn't jump. So like, as we know in that, like in that moment, tides have changed with, Heather not wanting to jump and then wind up jumping. I don't know if we're going to bring that up.
I was just about to bring that up. I was like, all right, so before she even, Lashana threw Heather in because she refused to jump. But how did you feel about that little interaction they had before all that?
Yeah, I was ready to talk about it because that's another big moment where I was like, whoo, baby, when was this show made? Because they immediately started, like, when Lashana was like, oh, no, baby, you jumping because I'm not losing today. And she's like, make me. And then she just started like calling her all kind of craziness. It was so stereotypical. It was like, you don't trash. And then she was hitting them with like, you popular this and popular. I'm like, they was hitting each other with the jugular. But the stuff that Heather was saying was like, not even on the same level what Lashana was saying about it. I'm like, oh man. She's like,
popular princess, Prissy or whatever. And then she was like ghetto rap star wannabe.
Yes, exactly. So yes, it's not even on the same level. So Lashana was like, you know what? I'm not about to argue with you, girl. Boom, I'm a big girl. I'm gonna pick your little tail up, throw you in there, and I threw you in the safe zone. So bam, we get a point for me and we get a point for you. Let's go.
Goodbye.
Right. She literally like, yeah.
That clip was the only clip I've ever seen outside of like watching this for the first time. Because I posted on Twitter and I was like, what the hell is going on? So when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's okay.
Okay. Now another interesting thing here is with this interaction, I think we're going to start seeing some friendships form. Like you're going to see Lindsay is obviously like Heather's little sidekick. And then you're starting to see a friendship between like Gwen and Lashana over here too. So it's just like, I mean, it's cool. Like Lance said, we're starting to see the social aspect of it come in. And, it's just interesting how they experimented with this with a kid show. But I mean, I was here for it, Yeah.
And it's also when we have the moment of, during the challenges when the Sadie and Katie like interaction finally came to flourish. Like, we're not going to do it unless we're on the same team and we're jumping together. So it's like, Chris was like, you know what? I'm not about to deal with this all season long. Baby, like, Izzy, you go to that team. Now them two are together. Jump, girls, jump. And that's when we got the switcheroo of Lindsay going from being a gopher to a killer bass, or vice versa, however it was. But yeah, that was a definitely. I think that's something we're going to continue to see as the season go on, because only one person can win, and I feel like eventually someone's going to take one of them out. Not sure which one, and how would the other one live, or will they be a double out? Like, because my thought process would be like, if y'all can't live together, let's shoot and see if y'all both go.
See, and my thought is to make it even more dramatic, they might turn on each other. Like maybe that'll happen instead. Like maybe somebody will get their ears and the other one, and then just kind of.
I didn't think of that. That's a good way to say it. We got.
I like the speculation. So there was like two other interesting things that really happened during the challenge. The first one was Justin jumped and he missed, and I think he's the only person to miss the circle. And then obviously you think the Sharks are going to mess him up, but you're going to just find out that everybody loves Justin, and
even the animals, even the animals, those animals to like, oh yeah, I'm hungry, and see his beautiful skin just come across their eyes and be like, oh no, you know what? I'm gonna take you to shore because you're so beautiful.
Like you're a little pedestal, like out into the. Oh my god!
Like, come on, like God, nobody's that cute, right?
Right.
I mean, try telling that to them. But then the last interesting one was Owen when he jumped off the cliff, and then what you gotta say, Liz?
I love him. I love Owen. Like, I love how. Yes, that's what I was about to speak on.
They're like, die.
Yeah, because like we even got a little more backstory for him. Like him, besides the fact of him saying like, "Oh, I think I'm gonna die," he was like, "I'm not actually a strong swimmer," and all of this. I'm like, Owen just giving us more and more and more to love him, and then for him to like go and do it, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, I thought he'll die if he jump off that dang cliff. He's so big." Blah, 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 blah. Like, it was a good story for him, and I can't wait. I see his story just like growing and growing. Like,
he's an interesting one.
Yeah, I hope that.
Basically, Owen wins that team the challenge, and they get their hot tub, they got all that fun stuff, but they have to get it there. And there's like this whole interaction, basically where they have to all carry everything there. But I remember Katie and Sadie had to use the bathroom, and I mean they're in the woods, so they're like, all right, whatever.
Yes.
They squatted in poison ivy, and yeah. So I mean that was there.
Literally how they showed like the redness basically on their ass was like, I was like, it's a children's show.
You be making you forget that it's a kid show, honestly. Like,
yes. Like it was so funny because even like a little bit before that, whenever like the other team won their carts or whatever, then it pans to the team that has Courtney, and she's like, "Oh, I got a splinter." So that shows a little bit more about Courtney. Like, I got a splinter, and Eva was like, "Look, pick up your cart. Well, let's go. We're already behind." And I was like, "All right, Eva." and then that's when like we first start hearing about Courtney talk about like, I have this CIT training. I'm the only one that's been outdoors before. So like that was the first crack at it. As we know, we're going to continue here throughout this episode. Mm-hmm. So it just showed like Eva's showing these girls like, I'm the strongest bee here. Like, come on, quit complaining. And let's get there. And then like of course the peace scene with the girls catching point out like, ooh, is it so itchy, sister? Like, are you itching too? Like, it was funny.
I think they're gonna realize like how bad it is to have them both on the same team because they just don't seem to make the best decisions, honestly. Mm-hmm. So another interesting thing was we saw Heather extend her hand to Lashana and like apologize. But we quickly see that it wasn't like genuine. What do you guys feel about that? Like, do you think that this is like going to be like a building rivalry? Who do you think is going to win this rivalry if it is one? What do you guys think about it?
Heather is continuing to literally be exactly what Regina George was in Mean Girls. Because whenever she was like, your skirt is so cute, where'd you get it? And then she's like, that's the ugliest effing skirt I've ever seen. She did the exact same thing to Lashana. And I was like, what the hell is going on?
That's the ugliest earrings. And that's like the first taste we get that Lindsay is like the follower of Heather. Yeah. For me, I saw it coming weirdly. Heather was like, you never saw these shows, you have to do this. Like Heather is that person who done study reality TV and know what it takes to be a reality star, win, lose, or draw. And I feel like since it's a cartoon show, they're going to reverse the curse. And this time Heather is going to one up Lashana and do something crazy to Lashana because Heather is that B. And I think sometimes they have to show that the BITCH could make it to the end and win the game. So I could definitely see Heather going way longer than Lashana because we know how some of this stuff happens for my kind of people sometimes.
You know, all right. I mean, yeah, interesting. What's the word I'm looking for? Interesting
thought process.
There you go. Also, I mean, this wasn't anything important, but we saw Izzy just open the other crate up with her mouth and whatever.
With her teeth. And she had rope burn. I was like, but that's giving Izzy a storyline. I was like, rope burn of your tongue, baby girl.
No, I was like, ow. Like, no. That was
So we see Jeff try to take this leadership position with his team and talk about how they all need to cooperate and work together. We also see Courtney has like this infection on her eye or something like that. That's kind of
that she did to herself. She literally did it to herself. So I didn't feel sorry, but she is still my queen that I will continue to ride for right now. She literally did it to herself because it happened in the same breath when the girls had caught they rash and she had a fly in her face and slapped the fly. So like you kill a fly in your eye, you're going to get an infection, baby girl. But like everyone is reacting so crazy. So I thought she would have reacted a little worse to it, but she's like, you know, I'm surprised because she seems so goody two shoes. So I thought she would have reacted a little different.
She was like, oh my God, a splinter. And then she has this big old eye and she's like, I'm good.
I feel bad for her because when she got that, she got the splinter, she got the chicken hat. She just like, she goes from like looking like the perfect girl at the beginning to like, she's kind of like, oh, you know.
But then she just started taking the leadership role to try to be the boss of her team. And we know in early portions of games, people find any reason to vote you off. And if my team loses and I'm the boss, 9 times out of 10, the boss is going to fall.
You're gone. Yep.
So I hope, do y'all think that she's going to be able to be a good CIT trainee?
It's a bad
That's a big thing. Everyone always like, oh, she's a CIT. So yeah,
you get her in trouble.
Mm-hmm. We also see Ezekiel. This is the beginning to his demise, obviously. But yeah, I mean, he starts picking his nose in front of people, and you know, just making people feel weird. But you know, I just wanted to point that out. So the Killer Bass are, you know, Jeff got his team together. Well, you see the Killer Bass over here, they're like struggling. You know, you got Tyler and Duncan fighting over hammers and all this stuff. While you see the other team, they're making their boat. And I mean, I said their boat, their hot tub. And they're like working like as such a perfect unit. Like, you know, but the other team is just like struggling completely. And there's just like no order over here. So, I mean, that kind of shows you the dynamics.
For me, it gave very much of seeing both sides of the spectrum, like how teamwork happens and how if everyone try to be too many Chiefs and not enough Indians happens. And that's what it gave us, you know?
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, two totally different dynamics.
So, basically, we see that the Screaming Gophers win because they made their hot tub way better. Chris has to test both of them out, and obviously the other one was just terrible. So, they win. They won the cliff jumping comp, and then they won this. So they get to have a hot tub. They get to have their little party on the night one. So,
but did y'all catch when they won? Aren't they supposed to be 16? Owen is like naked. Hugging all the girls.
Yeah.
Hugging all the girls, and he's naked.
I forget that it's a kid show sometimes, honestly.
I know. Some of these little things that pop in, I'm like, oh my God.
I mean, I think it goes to all age groups and stuff though nowadays. But like when it first came on, I'm like, how is this on Cartoon Network? I'm like,
Cartoon Network was not the like most kid friendly. You go to Nickelodeon for that.
Exactly. So basically the main focus after that, it's basically on the team that lost like regular TV. And we're going to the cafeteria, and this is where a lot of the interactions is going down. You're seeing Duncan, Courtney and Duncan are trying to like, I guess you can see they're kind of like butting heads for like this leadership role of the team and all that. You see Duncan starting to take, DJ starting to take Duncan's side, and you're starting to see all these like little connections starting to grow.
Yeah, I found that weird because originally Duncan pitched DJ Courtney, and then he was just like, I pitched those two, but I would definitely rather keep the big strong guy in case we have to pick up a truck. So it was like Courtney's demise, but then DJ was just so like, oh yeah, with Duncan, when he just literally threw your name under the bus. And then that's when people start saying like, well, Courtney, says you're on the hot seat, like, like it always happens at TV. It's like, well, who do you want to throw out? And that's when she threw out Tyler. That shocked me because I was like, Tyler hasn't had nothing this episode. We haven't seen a story arc. He's not going to go this early. And it's like, and that's when you hear Lindsay scream from the other side of the room, like, no, not my man. I'm like, girl, go sit down. Go sit down.
That was funny. She's like, wait, no. Oh, wait.
Yeah, she was like, I was talking about salt. On the burger.
I really think that, seeing what Courtney was doing was, definitely, perfect example of, scrambling, knowing that your name is on the chopping block. And so she had to come up with some kind of plan to get herself out of there. And I feel like she was, I feel like she was the most strategic person in that part of the show. I think she was really, really thinking about it and actually trying to come with names. 'Cause at one point she was like, okay, so who we're gonna vote? Come on guys, let's figure it out,
and that gave me what I needed from what I the kind of players I root for, because I'm like, you're not going to go out without a fight. You're going to throw names and throw it out. And then Duncan was so over everything she had to say. It was like, well, I'm going to take a nap. Y'all decide. I'm voting how I want to vote. Y'all decide. And she's like, no, we need to decide who we vote on because it's not staying on me, baby boy. I was like, that's how you do it, Courtney. That's how you play the game. And that's when,
well, he wasn't on anyone's radar, but Ezekiel opens his mouth and says some very sexist stuff. Like I said, I'm very shocked that this is a kid's cartoon.
Yeah, so Sabrina, you being a woman, how did you take that, everything he threw out?
He was just digging his grave, more and more, goodbye. I know, as soon as he said, he started going off, I was like, ooh, this is going to end real bad for him. I know, especially, as an older woman now, those comments are just kind of nah, whatever. But I'm sure if I was a 16-year-old in that position, I would have been probably really pissed off too. I'd be like, excuse me, I am strong. I can do these challenges. I would probably do the same thing that the other girls did. So I definitely.
I love how you say older woman, like you're 50 or something sad. I'm like, girl, bye.
I'm 8 years old, okay? I'm older than 16 is what I mean. I'm very young, but still, I'm older. I'm not a teenager. but if I was at that point, I would feel the same way.
Yeah, I definitely understand where you're coming from, because even me, I'm sitting there ooh, that's not even nothing you say. Big strong Eva get defensive and all the other girls get defensive. It's baby, we might have 6 girls on our team, but we sure kick y'all butt today.
Yeah, exactly.
And, like, let's get it, let's go. And I could probably pick 6 of you up, boy. So like, I love seeing a little bit more of like even in like defending herself, because she's been a little cold with a couple people. So that was good to see. So he's definitely like mentioned about like girls being worse than boys, not smarter. And even when they tried to give him the benefit of the doubt, it's like, well, at least he didn't say that boys are smart. And he was like, but they are, right? And I'm like, hey, if my girl Courtney could stay, bye, Ezekiel. Bye.
What did he say? He was like, my dad told me to look out for the girls. And I'm like, oh, you can go.
Yeah,
I was like, baby, keep my girl Courtney here, because my girl Courtney at that point was the only real name that stuck in the mud. So I'm like, if this saves my girl and give her one more round to make these connections, bye, Perry Dog, bye, homeschool, bye.
Mm-hmm. So basically, that's like the last thing we see. We're going to the tribal council. We're going to the marshmallow ceremony.
Pretty much.
It's basically like you can see the blatant survivor.
No, look what I said. I said it was a mix of like a bachelor rose ceremony mixed with a survivor tribal council. I was like, they are blatantly parodying all these reality shows, mixing it all into one. Next thing you know, they're gonna move out of the jungle and move to a Big Brother house. Like when it was kind of like I was waiting for him to be like, Sadie, do you accept this marshmallow?
They should have done that.
Right. That's all it was missing.
Okay.
And it's honestly, that's the coolest thing, and it's why I love this show so much, because like I said, this is what got me into like reality TV. Shockingly, like some people start with Survivor and everything. I started with Total Drama.
That is weird. Oh my God.
It is, right? But it's just like, I don't know. It's just like, as a kid, I was just like only watching cartoons, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool. I love to see this in real life. I'm like, oh wait, it is out there. So it's dope. I enjoyed that.
That's awesome.
But we're going to the voting out part. Basically, we see the final 2 people who don't get marshmallows is Courtney, blatantly, obviously, because people think she's bossy. She didn't jump off the cliff. People aren't, Duncan was completely like against her. And then Ezekiel is like the sexist guy that nobody wants to be around now. And it was an obvious choice. Ezekiel got voted out first. Do you guys care if Ezekiel got out?
Like I said, it saves my girl Courtney. I need to see more of Courtney. And after I done seen this episode, I'm ready to make winner predictions. Not saying I'm gonna do good.
We're gonna get into that.
Not saying I'm gonna do good, but I'm kind of happy that if someone had to go, it wasn't Queen Court. Period.
Okay. Oh, and actually, while we're on Courtney, the last thing we saw is, the Gophers they're celebrating, but we see Courtney. She's like, "I'm going to win this game."
Yes, that was like my favorite part of that episode. Like seeing her like kind of break the fourth wall and like talk to the and be like, "I'm going to win." I was like, "Yes!" It's like we're gonna get into this. Like, let's go. Like that was awesome. I love that.
And honestly, y'all see why I stood the queen from moment one. When she gave that last ditch effort, like, yeah, I may have been down that first round, but she gave everything. She gave it to us as viewers. Because, we watch these shows and try to connect with a character, and she gave us what we wanted. She gave us that like passion, and that's why she is on the Gwen team. Like, I'm here. Like, I don't know if we're doing a draft with me and you, Saf, since we never saw it, but Courtney is my
We can do that. We can do that if y'all want it. That would be fun. We can do that. I mean, I'm not against it. Interesting. All right, so look, since Zeke is out first, we'll wait till the next one. Because you're going to. All right, we can do a draft now. Actually,
yeah, we can do a draft, and just whoever me and Sabrina don't pick, they just not. You just get that person honorary since you saw the show already.
I'm gonna put this in my phone. Well, let's do the rankings first, and then we'll do that afterwards. So. Here, let me get my screen share. What we're gonna do now is I want to see what you guys think. We're gonna do a winner's prediction. And basically we're gonna rank each character based off of their winning equity from what you guys seen off the first 2 episodes. And then as we go, we're going to adjust this every single episode. So how do you guys feel about Beth, first of all? On a S, A, B, C, D, where are we putting Beth?
I personally would say C if Sabrina agrees, because I feel like she might have something going for her, but we haven't seen enough of Beth yet. Like Sabrina mentioned.
Middle of the road. Like she's kind of chilling right now. But yeah, I could see her getting up there if she like gets a little push. I think she could.
Mm-hmm.
She could do better.
All right. So what about Bridget?
I would say D. She didn't give anything to me right now. I don't know.
I'll accept that with you because she hasn't given me enough.
Yeah, I'm just like she's kind of there for me right now. I mean, of course it could change next 2 episodes, but
okay.
If we're just going up with the 2 episodes.
What do you think about Cody? Ladies man guy, you know, short guy.
What do you have above A?
S. That is like top tier. Like that.
Okay, I just need to know it so I know when it's time to put someone there. Cody, I'll put him as a D as well. He didn't give me nothing.
Yeah,
above or below Bridget though.
Oh, definitely below Bridget. What you think, Sam?
Yeah. He was another one I forgot.
Courtney. Apparently Lance's favorite so far, Courtney.
I mean, Sabrina might not agree to put her as superior, so I'll agree on A.
Yeah,
superior.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Period.
Yeah, I think she, for me, gave me the most dynamic arc in like 2 episodes. Like she literally started where I was like, I don't know what she's gonna do, and then she just like was like she came for it. Like, and that last
she gave me everything.
Monologue to the camera was so good. I love that.
That's what moves her off of A for me. That last little monologue moved her from A to superior. Yep. Even if she go home next week, she gave me everything I needed in a character.
Totally agree.
Okay. Next we got DJ.
I was thinking like kind of near Beth, maybe. Like she.
Yeah, I think she's above Beth, but yeah, definitely C.
Yeah. Because he definitely, like, we got to know a little bit about him.
Marshmallow muscles, yeah.
And he's a pretty cool dude. So, like, yeah. Middle right now, yeah.
What about Duncan?
I would say either a B or a C because
I think we could give Duncan a B. He's gonna be that puppet master, man. Yeah, he's gonna be that puppet master, and he's definitely not on the same level with Beth and DJ. He's a little bit more superior than them.
Yeah, and he definitely showed a little bit of his gameplay and strategy towards the end of the episode, like of him trying to, throw names out and stuff. So, yeah, that's good.
All right. What about Eva?
Oh, man.
We learned a little bit. She could be, for me, above Bridget, but I don't see her being a C, B, or A. What do you think, Sam?
That's pretty accurate. I was going to say C or a D.
Okay.
Above Bridget, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I definitely. Above Bridget.
You guys can't see his picture; it's kind of cut off. But Jeff.
Oh, that's Jeff with a G.
Party guy.
Yeah. D.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I think he's above Cody though. No, D, not B.
Oh, D. I thought you said D. Oh,
what do you think, Sam? Is that a good spot for him?
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. I think. He's another one. Right.
Me and Stab gonna have so many D's. It's crazy. It's just
listen, that's fine. That's fine. Not a lot of these people were the focus of the first 2, so you guys are good.
Though. As the episodes go on, I'm sure we'll get to
change.
Yeah,
right.
For the positive or negative, you don't know yet. All right. So Gwen, what do we think about Gwen?
I want to put her as a B. I just personally like her.
I was gonna say A, but we could do B.
Too.
Yeah,
as long as she's above Duncan, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, she's definitely above Duncan. I think we need to put her on A because Gwen, I see so much of her.
I do. I see potential. I see it. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. How about Harold?
D.
Where in D specifically?
You can pick Sabrina.
Oh God. He is something else. Let's put him in D, and let's put him. Let's put him at the end.
Okay. Under
I think the end. I don't know about the end. We got to give Harold a little bit of credit. He came from my girl and not being scared. I think we can at least get him before Cody and Jeff, and maybe before Bridget.
Okay.
I don't know. That's just my thought. He did try.
He definitely was more vocal than.
But he's definitely not an ABC character, though.
No.
Okay. Heather.
Character-wise, I say A. Game-wise, I don't know, maybe a B, but I'm up to you, Sabrina. Yeah. You could kind of finalize it.
No, I'm legit agreeing with you in all these. I'm not even gonna lie. Like that, I really do think that as like a character, she's gonna give entertainment. She's gonna give that villain character, and people are gonna enjoy that from her. And we don't know her strategy yet with her like, being fake nice. Like we don't know.
So if we gave Gwen that, we got to give her at least A. I think she was a focal.
Yeah, no,
above or below?
Gwen. Above Gwen.
Okay. Yeah. Izzy.
I think she's a C.
Yeah, because we got a little bit from her.
Yeah.
We're like in the end of C.
I think she's a little more dynamic than Beth and DJ.
Okay.
What you think, Sab?
And she did volunteer to switch teams.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
that's give her her props.
Yeah.
Justin.
He's a heartthrob. I guess we could put him at the end of C.
Yeah, because like he was definitely like dynamic in the sense of he was he was a little bit of a focal point, but he was terrible at the challenge. He was the only one that missed.
Katie, this is the skinny one.
Twin.
Yeah.
I mean, they were funny, man. They were funny sisters. I personally say B, maybe a C.
Yeah.
They were funny.
They were entertaining. Not very good game players.
Okay, so yeah, we could do C. What you think, Sam? Who was more dynamic, her or her sister?
They can do them together, then I'm assuming wherever you guys put them. So
yeah.
Are you guys doing them together, or you want them separate?
About right there is fine. They could be together.
Yeah.
Do you want them to be together, or I don't know?
Yeah,
I mean,
I feel like they were so. I mean, they were so alike this episode.
Yeah, it wasn't no differential yet.
Not yet.
And they're top C for you guys.
Maybe in the middle.
Yeah, maybe after DJ.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
That looks good.
Yeah, that looks good. Yeah. Look at us.
All right. What about Lashana?
If we gave Heather A, we gotta at least give Lashana A.
Is the same like conflict going on? We have to.
Where at?
Because she had it. Ooh, they the same. Like, look, what do you think? Nah, she's better than Gwen. So it's either before Heather or after Heather. Right, I think we could leave her after. Because Heather had a little more like Lashana is oblivious to the stuff right now. Heather is like getting over on her. Yeah, so we'll give Heather the upper edge right now.
Okay. Yeah. All right, Lindsay.
Like Josh Williams would say, big boobs.
B for big boobs?
I mean, she's definitely a follower. She's definitely can be on the same tier with her leader, but she definitely gave us something, the scare, the following. So I guess we could do B, like you said, for big boobs.
Yeah.
Where Ed on B, you could decide.
That's why I should go after Duncan like that.
Okay. Yeah. Noah. I don't know. What do you guys
I would
think?
not be sad if you go home next episode. So I say D.
Yeah.
Put him before Cody because Cody is very forgettable to me.
Yes.
Oh, hey, Cody.
He literally is the one I'm like, who? Who is that? I don't know her. Like, okay.
Owen. Does Owen fall in the same category with Court as superior or what? What do you think?
Love Owen. Yes,
I love him.
Yes.
Oh, S tier. Okay.
But put him after Courtney.
After Courtney. Yeah.
Go ahead, Owen. You eats it for me.
Trent.
Right. So he's the one who's got the little connection with Gwen.
Mm-hmm.
So he's definitely before. I still say D, but I think maybe the highest D.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe
D. Late C.
I was thinking D after Eva.
Okay. I agree.
If there's potential there.
Lastly, it's Tyler.
So that's the one that
the sport guy, water sport, and he like also was like, Lindsay, if you ever see, and that's when Duncan was like, they always go for the jocks. And you spoke up for him too at the cafeteria. That's that, you know. So what do you guys think about him? He didn't give me a lot. Mm-hmm. What you think, Sam? Is he a late C or D?
Yeah.
we'll give him the benefit of the doubt and give him an after Justin.
All right,
Sure.
bottom C. All right, so based off of what you guys think so far, Courtney and Owen are top tier and are in the running to be the
That's our
winner.
faves.
So, very interested to see how this ends. You know, I'm looking forward to adjusting this every episode with y'all.
Yes.
So lastly, like you guys said, we're going to do a draft. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do this on my phone, and then I'm going to make a graphic so I have it next episode. But what I'm going to do you guys want to choose who gets first pick, or am I putting it in random.org? Which one is it?
Ladies first. I'll give Sab that.
Okay.
She's a queen.
Okay.
So Sabrina, who do you want for your first pick?
So do you want me to make you sad, Lance, or should I? No. You know what?
It's okay.
I'm gonna go with my first instinct. I'm gonna pick Gwen.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah. I don't know. I have a feeling about her.
I'm ready for this story arc. Even if she get final 2, give me my girl Courtney. Period.
Courtney. Okay.
She's gonna go far.
Can you like give us? Can you do like a little listing? So we can know, like,
here.
who left? Or as you just screenshot that real quick, and then we could like move it back.
Yeah, I got you. Here,
just
you
so
know
I can
what?
know who was picked.
Let me end the screen share real quick, and then I'm gonna pull this up for y'all.
Yeah, thank you.
This is fun.
I just want to know like, who was taken out as we go.
No, I'm having fun. I'm glad that you guys are enjoying it.
That was such a good episode. So I also saw it's like 20-some episodes. So
yeah. Oh yeah, we're going to do 2 every week. You know, so you know, I'm gonna have a great time with this. All right. So try to do this as less sloppy as okay. So yeah, let me put this on the screen share. Okay, so I got the cast right here, right? I'm actually going to let me get rid of all these tiers. We don't need these tiers at all. Delete. We got sad. Oops. Oh my gosh. All right. So we got Sab's team, and then we got Lance's team.
Yeah.
All right. So we have, as you guys said, Courtney is on Lance's team. Gwen is on Sabrina's team. So this will make it a lot easier. All right. So it is back to you, Sabrina. What's going on? Ignore Christian Chef.
I'm gonna. I want Chef. I'm gonna pick Duncan.
Okay.
Ooh, you got that little connection. Give me our other superior. I got both superiors tonight. Give me Owen, baby.
Owen. Okay.
So cute. I am gonna go with. You know what? I'm gonna pick Lindsay. I feel like there might be some kind of overthrow dynamic going on there.
Give me the mean girl, baby. Give me Heather.
Right. Sabrina.
I'm gonna go with Trent.
All right. I can see Sabrina has like a type over here, so it's interesting.
Yeah. I was about to say, give me Ezekiel, but
he's out. We don't even need to put him here. He's out.
Yes,
I
think I honestly feel that Beth might give us a little bit more in the future. She didn't get enough yet, and I want to get that. See what's up.
Yeah, I was thinking about her next. That's fair.
All right.
Let's see. I want more ladies on my team. I'll go with Izzy.
That was my next pick. Good job.
Definitely interesting.
Back to you, Lance.
I'm gonna pick. I need a guy, and I feel he might make it far off. But he doesn't have no gameplay. Give me the skinny twin, Sadie, the big twin. She's a little more relatable to people, maybe.
All right, Sadie.
I know. I was trying to figure out which one of those two would go further. I'm gonna go with. This is hard now. It's really hard.
Yes.
fun draft.
Okay, I've got 3 ladies and 2 guys.
Lace look like you know what he want.
I know. I'm like,
What?
I know who my next pick is, and I'm scared.
Oh, you do? Oh my god, I don't even know. Oh man. Oh shoot.
I'm so into this. It's crazy.
It's so fun. I love drafts like this. This is great. I'm gonna go with Harold.
Harold. Okay.
Oh, Sabrina. That was my next pick. I should have picked him before freaking Sadie because I knew he wasn't gonna pick Sadie.
You got Courtney and Owen.
Dang, it's something about Harold, y'all, that's giving me something good. Like,
yes, I feel like there's something
weird,
really, like there's something going
weird,
on.
but good. So I'm gonna do the girl who gives me that, and I'm gonna go with Bridget.
Okay.
Bridget. Okay.
Dang, Harold.
He's gonna go on. It's
Everyone's
fine.
like, Harold's weird, but I need him on my team. All right, Sabrina is back to you. Not
Okay.
that many picks left.
I kind of like this boy girl thing I'm doing.
Oh, look at you.
I just realized that I'm doing that. I'm gonna go with Lashana.
All right.
Everybody gonna be so upset that I didn't pick my queen. Sorry. I just feel like Heather on one upper. I can't have her and Heather on the same team.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go and pick. Give me Justin.
Justin. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And then I'm gonna take Katie.
Katie goes on Sabrina. All right.
Give me. So give me Tyler. I'll pick Tyler.
Sweaty Tyler.
Yeah, he was gonna be my next choice.
Mhm.
Right.
Let's go. I'm trying to think of
Whoever's left as an extra is not going to get drafted. So you guys got 2 picks left each.
What if
Okay.
we both lose the draft?
Oh my god. How ridiculous. I'm gonna pick. Oh man. I'm gonna go Jeff with a G.
Yeah, because I never was picking him.
With a G.
Not Jeff with a G. Ew. I'll
I
pick
know.
Noah before
I feel
him.
like I know who you guys aren't going to pick, but I'm going to wait to see.
I almost picked Noah. I almost picked him.
Yeah. So it's Noah. Okay, so that's Noah,
Noah,
Eva,
Eva,
DJ.
DJ, and Cody.
We know who we're not
you know who we're not gonna pick. I'm gonna pick Noah.
All right, Sabrina.
I'm gonna go DJ.
And I guess you're picking Eva and Cody.
for me.
Imagine Cody wins this whole thing.
Honestly, if Cody wins this game, Sal, oh my god, we failed as analysts.
Fail.
Interesting. All right, so I'm very curious to see who wins this little draft here.
Me too. This will be fun.
That's great. But all right, y'all. I mean, this is episode 1 to our rewatch of Total Drama Island. I'm completely happy to have you here. Thank you for joining Silent Podcast.
Thanks for having us.
Of course, this is going to be great.
I'm so excited.
All right, anyone watching, thank you for coming over. We are going to be uploading these every Monday. So just keep a lookout on Twitter. Real quick before we close out, I'm going to let you guys plug anything you want to plug. So Sabrina, is there anything you want to plug?
Sure. My Twitter and Instagram are the same handle. It's at Sabreezy, Sabreezy 2492. Pretty easy.
Okay. And Lance.
All right, you guys, y'all can find me on Instagram and Twitter at I am King Lance. It's all space, no underscore. So that's IAMKINGLANCE. You can find me, follow me. I'll definitely be being more active on Twitter now that I'm a part of this, but I'm always active on Instagram. I'm excited to be a part of Silent Podcast, and it's so much in the future. Like me and Sam aren't only here for Total Drama Island.
Oh no, you guys are here for a lot more.
So I'm excited for Isaiah to even have us on board, and I just want to say thank you so much, Isaiah, for even thinking about having us.
I know.
course.
This is great.
And you guys can find me. I mean, obviously, if you're here, you should hopefully it's 8 Ball Bangers. The ad's literally right here. But yeah, look over there on my Twitter mainly for any like updates of like where we're going to be uploading and everything. We should have a sports podcast coming up soon in anime with Josh Sanchez. We're going to be doing some Temptation Island this week with Geneva, Sasha, and Abby. That should be Wednesday, I believe. And then starting like next week, we're going to be doing some Floribama Shore with Sasha and maybe Abby as well. So look out for that. We're going to have some Big Brother and Survivor stuff. We're going to have all that fun stuff. So just keep a lookout. But until then, this has been Total Drama episode 1 and 2 Rewatch.
Yeah.
See you soon.
Hey, yo, bye.